Now available on Kickstarter, John Haynes at Death's Door. The man who rules the world takes on the Greek god of death in this all-new Kickstarter exclusive John Haynes comic book. Put in your pledge and get the standard, variant, or retro covers of John Haynes at Death's Door and other great stretch goal rewards on Kickstarter today. Back in April of 2022, I told everyone that YouTube was waging a campaign to take down the channels of black male YouTubers. And it seems like I was the first to become targeted in this campaign because on April 15th, 2022, I received an email stating that a video I did back in 2015 defending the indefensible was considered to be age restricted for nudity and sexual content. Now, this video had no nudity or sexual content inside of it. It was just a video talking about how black male YouTubers who talk about black women don't get any views on their videos. And when I went to appeal this video to YouTube's customer support, they wound up telling me that they were going to go out here and review the video and the channel. Now, I thought I could trust your YouTube creator support to just remove that age restriction for nudity and sexual content that wasn't on the video. However, your YouTube creator support and Team YouTube decided to put a strike on my channel for absolutely no reason. Now, the original charge was for nudity and sexual content that wasn't on the video, but when they reviewed the video, they decided to give me a strike for so-called hate speech. Now, after I contacted creator support once again to let them know that the video had no hate speech in it, and had to argue with them for practically 2 days straight, they practically removed the strike off my channel, and they removed the age restriction off the previous video. Now, this was a campaign meant to try to drive a black male content creator off the platform by getting them off on trumped-up charges. And they knew that I had passed all of the community guidelines, the content met all of the rules, but what they wanted to do was arbitrarily throw a content creator off the platform because they either disagreed with my viewpoints that I was presenting in my videos, or they just didn't like the fact that a black male was presenting content on the platform. Now, after I experienced this, I thought that YouTube was just doing it to one or two people, but now I see that this is an ongoing campaign against black male YouTubers because they recently tried to run the same game on Professor Black Truth. Now, last weekend, Professor Black Truth received a similar age restriction like I received on April 25th, 2022, on a video he did talking about Dr. Martin Luther King. And in this video where he talked about Dr. Martin Luther King, they age restricted this video talking about nudity and sexual content, but I had watched that video about Dr. King and there was no nudity or sexual content in that video. But Professor Black Truth, like me, went to go and contact creator support regarding this video getting that age restriction, and just like me, with the same thing happened where your Professor Black Truth gets the age restriction taken off the Martin Luther King video, but then they put a strike on a video he did about Will Smith. And I don't know if they use the hate speech tactic, but this seems to be a pattern going on with your YouTube regarding the content creation from black male content creators. They know that we are creating content that meets the standards of the community guidelines, and since they can't get us on the community guidelines, they're creating arbitrary policies in an effort to strike and take down our channels. So, black men, we have to be aware and vigilant because it looks like your YouTube is declaring open season on the channels of black male YouTubers, and they're looking to wage a war to remove us from the platform so that we won't be able to present our viewpoints on the air. Now, the reasons I believe that your YouTube is out here waging this campaign are several. YouTube has recently launched its new Black Voices platform, and they're hoping to get the Black Voices platform launched in October. I recently saw a notice for it in my studio platform, and it looks like in an effort to get their Black Voices up, they're trying to take down the voices of prominent black male YouTubers so that they won't have an influence on the platform, because the voices of new black media are very strong, and since the voices of new black media are very strong and influential, they want to remove those voices before they put their bootlicks in and have their bootlicks and shills on the platform. So this could be the backhanded way of trying to remove the voices of prominent black YouTubers off the platform so that their voices would become more in control when they launch them in October or November. In order to make their voices on Black Voices more prominent, they have to eliminate the voices of new black media. And the way they're trying to go about this just shows how unethical someone at YouTube is, because they know that they can't get the new voices of new black media with violations of their community guidelines, such as hate speech or other violations. So now they're making up trumped-up charges in an effort to eliminate the voices of new black media. But this won't work, because I remember YouTube trying to do this before by creating their so-called Black Voices, and their Black Voices were not getting much traction on the platform. And they weren't getting traction because many of the people they were trying to pick had no heart, no soul, and they talked about things that were all flash and no substance. Now, your YouTube has been trying to control the black media platform for some time, either with these individuals that were part of their original Black Voices or through shills like your Kevin Samuels. Now, your Kevin Samuels was their most successful shill on the YouTube platform, and he was allowed to get over 1 million subscribers because he was a distraction that people at YouTube were using to get black people arguing back and forth about gender war topics and keeping them off the roads of black empowerment. And that's something that Professor Black Truth and I talked about a lot on our platform, and that is something that I believe somebody at YouTube doesn't want black people talking about. They don't want to hear us talking about black empowerment. They don't want to hear us talking about demands for reparations. They don't want to hear us talking about tangibles, and they don't want to hear us talking about black empowerment and talking about participating in things like group economics. No, they don't want to hear black people talking about these types of ideas on their platforms, and that's why we see this new campaign to try to remove prominent black male YouTubers off the platform, because they don't want us talking about topics that are filled with substance. Because if black people are talking about topics that are filled with substance, then that means that we're out here getting ready to get serious about things, and that is something that somebody at YouTube doesn't like hearing. So since they know that what we're talking about falls right in line with the community guidelines, what they want to do is use unethical means to try to remove individuals like myself and Professor Black Truth and many others off the platform. So what they're trying to do now is trying to use the dirty trick of saying, oh, your content violates age restriction, and then when you go out here and protest the age restriction, they look to put a strike on your channel for a more serious violation. But in actuality, you have violated none of the community guidelines whatsoever. But what they want to do is try to push you off the platform. And they believe if they push you off the platform, then you won't be a problem for the platform, and that as long as people are talking about sneakers, gender war, or other really silly topics, they can have the black YouTube that they want. Because the black YouTube that they want is the clown show where black men and black women are going back and forth talking about relationships. Black women and men are arguing about foolishness. They don't want to hear black men and black women talking about serious topics, and they don't want to hear black men and black women starting to wage a campaign to build a stronger black community, or a campaign to utilize their political power to get tangibles or go out here and get reparations for slavery, past Jim Crow, and past discrimination and ongoing discrimination. No, there's somebody at YouTube who does not like the idea of hearing black people talk about black empowerment, and since they don't like the idea of black people talking about black empowerment, they want to go out here and try to find a way to eliminate those people from the platform by using minor technicalities, like they did in the case of that 7-year-old video of mine, or the video that Professor Black Truth did about Dr. Martin Luther King, or the video he did about Will Smith. This is all about trying to push black people off the platform who are talking sense and are talking about serious issues. They don't want us on here talking about serious issues. No, what they want YouTube to be is a place filled with their bootlicks and shills talking about ridiculous things like a gender war, twerking, talking about all sorts of big butt women and dating. They want the platform to be a minstrel show where black people show their worst behavior, and they don't want to see a platform where we're talking about building and achieving and bringing our excellence to the platform. So they want to try to eliminate people, black men especially, off the platform, because they don't want us to come on here preventing the true image of black manhood and black masculinity, because this platform, YouTube, it seems like you've got a couple of white supremacists in the team, I believe, because these individuals, they're sitting there, they go out here trying to flag, again, black men's channels, and that they're trying to take all of the intelligent black men down once again. I mean, this is like the third time I've seen this done. I saw this done in 2010 when Dan Freeman and Rick Scorpio and many others were on the platform, the first group of black men on the platform. And I've seen this done about 2012 again when those black women were talking about doing their hit list. And it just seems like they're always going after black men's channels, and they're always looking to tear down black men's channels and replace them with their own certified bootlicks. And this is something that has, again, been going on for some time. They're always trying to take down the black men's channels, and they're always using some type of tactic to take down the black men's channels. I mean, this is the second time I've seen this done, because I posted it on the Twitter that I think Professor Black Truth is on, to give him a heads up and let him know that this was done to me. And I'm trying to give everybody else a heads up, because it's looking like they're waging a campaign on black men's channels to bring black men's channels down. And though, again, the whole thing is all about silencing the voices of black men so that we won't be on the platform, and they can go out here and bring their shills in, like a Kevin Samuels or somebody else, and then have that shill go out here and talk to the people as a representative of black manhood and black masculinity, but that person is no representative of black manhood or black masculinity. No, they're just a shill put in the place to say whatever your YouTube wants black men to say, and to push the narratives they want heard out here regarding black men. And that's looking like what they're trying to do, because again, I got the notice saying, oh, we're looking for people to be part of YouTube's Black Voices. Moreover, we've got a whole campaign where it's looking like to me that people are really scared about black men talking about tangibles, and we're getting close to the 2022 midterms. And with us getting closer to the 2022 midterms, they want to silence any black male voice who is talking about tangibles, talking about black empowerment, and talking about not going out here and voting straight down tickets. They don't really want you to hear black men talking about tangibles or talking about voting. They don't really want to hear you talking about black men talking about their political viewpoints. They don't want anybody to hear these viewpoints because they want black people to continue following the shills, following the bootlicks, following the drones, and going to go vote for the blue ticket, or going out here and doing whatever they're told by the shills. That's what the plan is, and that's why they're trying to eliminate voices of black men like Professor Black Truth and myself and many others with this campaign where they age restrict a video, and then when the person tries to go at petition the age restriction, they put a strike on the channel. This is passive aggressive attacks on black male YouTubers. Passive in that it looks like you're trying to get them for a small infraction, but then you aggressively try to put a strike on their channel to have that person's channel eliminated. It's a very dirty and unethical tactic, and it looks like something that is done using the algorithm from Team YouTube, and it's also done by somebody in Team YouTube to, as I see it, maliciously go after people's channels because they say, oh, we're going after content that's been up, even though it's old, but you wouldn't go after a 8-year-old video or even a 2-year-old video that was on a white racist channel, because those videos have been up for years. You won't flag those videos at all, nor would you go out here and flag any video of some of these white people that was really old. No, you're doing this because you want to get black YouTubers off the platform, and you want black YouTubers to become silent so that you can continue turning black YouTube into the minstrel show that you want it to be. So it's entertainment for white racists, but not about empowering black people. And again, when I saw what happened to Professor Black Truth, it took me back to what happened to me in April. And back then, I warned black people to be on the lookout for this kind of stuff. And I'm hoping that more black people start to become aware, because clearly there's somebody at YouTube who has an agenda against black people, and they might be using sock puppet accounts to flag videos. It might be somebody on Team YouTube using sock puppet accounts, but clearly it's looking like a campaign against black YouTubers. And black YouTubers, we have to start taking a stand, because we have a right to be on this platform, because YouTube says we can broadcast ourselves, and we have a right to be on this platform if we are meeting the community guidelines and following the rules. So we have as much right to be here as anybody else, and no one has a right to take us off the platform for arbitrary and any means, because they have inner feelings about us. If you are in your feelings about our content, don't watch it. If you don't like the content, just click on the red X on your browser, or click on the X on your tab, and keep it moving. There are other people who want to watch our content, want to see a different view of black, and want to show you a larger world of black people and empower other brothers and sisters. So we want to be on this platform. We have a right to be on this platform, and nobody has a right to take us off this platform because they're in their feelings, because we're presenting a view of black that is different than what they are experiencing. We are presenting a view of what black people truly are, and we are trying to empower black people. And if you don't like seeing black people empowered, again, there's a red X on the left hand side of your Windows, on the right hand side of your Mac, and an X on your browser. Hit it and keep it moving. Now, if you want to see me make more videos like this, you can donate to my Patreon, my PayPal, and my Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. And my new comic, John Haynes at Death's Door, is now available on Kickstarter. And if you want to pick up a copy of the first John Haynes comic, you can put in a pledge by clicking the link in the description box for John Haynes at Death's Door. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe.
Now available in paperback and e-readers, E-Steam Horror of the Hyena Woman. Hell's aspiring angel takes on a wicked werewolf in this action-packed all-new E-Steam series adventure. Get E-Steam Horror of the Hyena Woman in paperback and e-readers today. Now available in paperback and e-readers, ISIS Legacy. Sorority secrets of the goddess next door are revealed in this all-new ISIS series adventure. Get ISIS Legacy in paperback and e-readers at online booksellers everywhere.